first and foremost, all right, we're trying to find the axis of symmetry. All right, so that's just the same as what we did yesterday. So that doesn't, that's not really a big deal. So when we're doing this, we're going to say x is equal to, now remember it's negative b, so what would that be? 6. You should be able to say that pretty quickly. 6 over 2 times a, which is what?
3.
Good. All right, but really it's 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So your axis of symmetry is x equals 3. All right. Now your vertex, you plug the number in. All right. When I plug the number in, I get y. Well, actually, I want to do it like this, guys. I want everybody to write it like this. F of 3 is equal to 3 squared minus 6 times 3. All right. It's called functional notation. All right. So 3 squared minus 18, or 9 minus 18, which is what? Negative 9. So the vertex now is 3 comma negative 9. Bless you. Bless you. All right, pretty straightforward. Now, what's the y-intercept?
0, 0.
0 comma 0. Very good. All right, now the new topics. All right, the x-intercepts, put a star. The x-intercept, right above it, you're just saying that's when the y value is 0. Now, in the past, you've heard me say, find the zeros. Find the zeros. Or set it what? Equal to 0. Why do they call it the 0? Because it's when the y value is 0. All right? So, to find this right now, y equals 0. 0 equals x squared minus 6x. Now, from the last 2 or 3 weeks, someone tell me, how do I find, or how do I solve x squared minus 6x equals 0? Not yet. You have to do a what? No. Factor a what? No. Factor out a what? GCF. What's the common factor here? X. Yes. All right. So those of you guys who said 2 sets of parentheses, you're on the right track. All right. But still, we have to factor out an x. So this is x times what? X minus 6. So the x-intercepts are at x equals 0 and x equals what? 6. Now, what exactly does that mean? There's a y-intercept 0, 0 and an x-intercept at 6, 0. All right, so a 0 means, and I want you to try to think about this, the 0 means when the y value is 0. That's what that means. When the y value is 0, you're finding the x-intercepts. So there are x-intercepts and there are y-intercepts. The y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis, and the x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis.
So the next 0 after the first, like 0 and 6, that's the y.
That's exactly correct. So this right here, again, just to make sure we're clear on this, this refers to the x, this is the y. This is the x, this is the y. All right. Now the domain is something that as you get more involved, all right, you will be discussing. Domain are simply the x values that fit on the graph. All right, so in this particular case, there is no number that you can't square and no number that you can multiply by 6. So the domain is going to be written as from negative infinity to infinity, which just means this symbol, all real numbers, all real numbers. So some of your math teachers next year or in a couple years, when everybody else catches up, you will be writing it in what's referred to as interval notation, which we have done. And then this is the symbol. These two mean the same things. So technically you're writing one or the other. All right, now let me explain to you how to find the range, then we're going to get into the calculator. All right, so we're going to graph this now. All right, so right off the bat, we already said that our axis symmetry is x equals 3. So that's my axis of symmetry. And you don't have to write it in. I'm just reviewing for those of you guys who still don't know. All right. Now we're going to change color and we're going to put in the vertex. So now the vertex is going to be 3, -9. So put a dot down here at 3, -9. What's the y-intercept? So you plot 0, 0. Now, surprisingly enough, usually the y-intercept and the x-intercept don't really overlap, but this is a special case. All right. So after you do the y-intercept, you use the axis of symmetry to figure out what the other point is. So the other point is going to be count over, yes, so it'd be right here. Now, most of the time they're not the same, but in this case they just so happen to be what? They happen to be the same. So now we're going to go like this, and we're going to go like this, and now you have the graph. You should feel really good about it. All right? Yeah, I know some of you have looked. You have no idea how to draw.
Didn't I do that well? What would happen if they weren't?
Oh, we're going to get to one of those. We're going to get to one of those. All right, now what I need everybody to do is go to their calculator. What?
I don't understand.
Oh, wait a minute. I need to do one more thing before you go to your calculator. What?
Why do you have 2 x-intercepts?
Because it crosses the x-axis in 2 different places. Very good question. It only crosses the y-axis at what? One place. The x crosses at 2 places. So again, just in case, that's an x-intercept, that's an x-intercept. That's why there's 2.
And then, how did you get the domain?
Domain, I just told you, it's always all reals because you can square any number. There is no restriction on the domain. I could put in 100, I could put in 500, I could put in 1,000,000, and I would get a number on the graph. The range is restricted, and I want everybody to look up now. This is really, really, really hard. All right, so you got to listen to what I'm saying. The domain is the easy one. Everybody just puts on the test -infinity to infinity and gets it right. The range is the y values. Listen to what I'm saying. What y values are on the graph? To figure out what y values on the graph, I want you to remember you look what? Up and down. The range is looking what? Left and right. You can go left, you can go right.
It's on the right.
Right? Now, when you go up and down, what's the farthest you can go down on the graph?
-10.
The farthest you can go down on the graph is what?
-9.
I think it's -9. You agree?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it starts, the range starts at -9. Now, how far up does it go?
Goes up to 0.
To what?
2.
Goes up how far? Say it. Infinity. That's exactly correct. All right, please look at that now. For whatever reason, I don't understand. People find that really, really hard. Now, if you're not listening, Connor, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. You got to stay with me. All right? Range. I'm going to tell you one more time. Listen to me. Range. I want you to go up and down for range. You start from the smallest. So when you go down, what's the farthest you can go down on the y-axis? And then that stops. And then it goes what from there? Up. So it goes from -9 to infinity. That's all there is to the range. Now, when I say domain, I'm going to highlight something up here on the board so you can just double check me. The range, how far left can I go? Well, the graph continually moves to the what? Left. And the graph continually moves what? To the right. That's why it says, or we say it's from -infinity to infinity. The range is how far up and down, right? So you look all the way down. The farthest you can go is what? -9. And then you go straight up to infinity. All right? That's how simple that is. But for whatever reason, that's a hard thing.
So just for like the most you can go is just to like the end of the parabola?
That's exactly correct. That's why they call it a minimum.
Yeah,
That's the
maximum.
lowest,
Yeah, the
all right?
maximum.
And eventually we'll get to a maximum.
Did you say that the y and the x-intercept will be the same?
That's exactly correct.
Okay.
It's just a coincidence right here that the origin is a unique point because it crosses the x-axis and the y-axis at that point.
So isn't the one that you have marked on the left, isn't that the y-intercept?
Yes, and it's the x-intercept. That's what we just said. This one on the right is just an x-intercept.
Okay.
All right, now take out your handy-dandy calculator. All right. No, not your handy-dandy notebook. Handy-dandy calculator. All right. Now, for your calculator, I want everybody to type in x squared minus 6x. Because not always are you going to be able to find the x-intercepts. The y-intercept is pretty easy, but the x-intercept is not. So here we go. Type it in. That's a good idea. And generally when you get started, it's not a bad idea to just hit zoom standard. All right, and when you graph it, you should be pretty happy that's what the graph looks like. All right, now listen. For your information, I need you to pay attention. All right, I'm going to try to show you now. Again, you should know how to find the vertex, like we did yesterday, but the first one I want to do is I want to teach you how to find the zeros. So hit second calc. And can everybody see where it says 0, which is number 2? So you hit 2. Now listen, don't irritate me. What comes up? Left bound. So I move the cursor to what? To left. So now look right here, please. This is my cursor. All right, this is my cursor on the graph, and I have to move it to the left. Then you hit enter once. Then it says what? Right bound. So now I move the cursor anywhere to the right. Then hit enter. And then you hit guess, comes up. Then you hit enter again because we don't care about guessing. Then what comes up? 0, 0. That is the 0. That's the 0. All right, those who got error didn't do it right. All right. Now, how many zeros are there? 2. So we're going to find the other 0 now. All right, so second calc 2. Now, you make sure you move it to the left. Is my cursor to the left? Yes. So now hit enter. Now you're going to move it to the right. Hit enter. And then guess. Enter. And then what number comes up?
0.
What? I'm trying to find this one over here, kiddo. I'm trying to find the 601.
I just got that. That's what I thought.
I'm okay with that. It doesn't matter. All I'm asking you to do, listen to me. Do I care what point you find first? The left one or the right one? I don't really care. I just want you to be able to tell your calculator to find the zeros. If you can do that, we can move on. If you can't do that, you can say, help me out. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What?
Why do I have to hear you?
The reason it says no sign change is because you didn't move to the left and to the right of the 0. You have to move to the left and to the right. I will demonstrate again. Where's yours? Come on. Every day we're going to use it. Come on, please. I don't want to fuss at you. Let's go. Come on. I'm trying to get that in your head. Remind you. I keep telling you, put a note in your phone saying ding, 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 ding. Have the alarm go off. Don't forget your calculator. That would be the smart thing to do. All right. Cole, are you hearing me? So on yours, do you understand my cursor here? This is my little cursor. That's what I'm trying to get you to represent. That thing that flies around as you move the left and right. You hear me? I'm going to move to the left. And then once I hit enter, it says right bound. You move to the right. Then guess comes up. Hit enter, and it'll take you to that 0. Is everybody good on that? That's because you're not doing it right. If you're trying to find this 0, come on. This is why I get frustrated with you. Watch. Look, girl. This is the cursor. Do you agree? I'm going to the left of that number. Your cursor can be anywhere over here to the left. Then you hit enter. Move it to the right. This would be to the right. Hit enter. Then guess comes up. Hit enter. Boom. And it finds that. Right? Now listen to me. Right here, I'm going to tell you something. You can't be to the left all the way over here and then go to the right all the way over here because now it has a choice of 2 to pick from.
I just want to.
I don't care what you did because it wasn't right. This right here, if I'm looking for the 6, I want to be to the left, right here, correct? I'm trying to find this 0. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Left and right of that point. This cursor right here, I want, this is to the left. Do you understand that or not? You may not understand that. That's the problem. Let me show you what I mean. You ready? This itself, pay attention now, because I understand your trouble now. This right here is the 0, right? These values over here are to the what? These numbers over here are to the, that's correct. So is my cursor to the right or to the left of that? Now it's to the, you with me now? So now fix it. Lander, you okay? Yeah. Anybody else have an issue? All right, I'm going down to the next problem. Going down to the next problem. All right, here we go. Now, again, axis symmetry. Stay with me. X equals 2 over -2 equals -1. Hello, back there in the back. I'm on question number 2. Did you write what I wrote down? Okay. So x equals -1 is the axis symmetry. Is everybody good with this? Any questions? Now I plug -1 in. Now here's where I want to help you with your math. Look up, because you don't need a calculator to do this. Negative, open parentheses, -1 squared, -2 times -1 plus 5. -1 plus 2 plus 5 is 6. Do you agree with this? So now the vertex is what? Say it again. -1 comma 6. The y-intercept, somebody tell me. 0 comma 5. Whoever was listening, tell me what the domain is. Yay, good job, guys. All real numbers. Good job. All right, practice writing the symbols, just depending on who your teacher is next year, what they want. Just like that up on the board. All right, now the x-intercept. To find the x-intercept, 0 equals -x squared minus 2x plus 5. Can I factor that? Anybody look at that and say I can or cannot factor that? You cannot factor that. You cannot factor it. Next week, I'm going to teach you how to solve those without factoring. But right now, we don't. So you'll have to use a what to find the x-intercepts? You have to use a calculator. So everybody type it in on your calculator, please. And we're going to round to 3 decimal places. You're going to round to 3 decimal places. And I want someone to give me the first answer right now. Come on. The first x-intercept is what you need. Don't look at somebody else's work. What?
Oh, I got it. Wait.
Oh, got it. Wait, no, I'm kidding.
Wait, and then sort.
What? Miles?
It's 3, -3, 0.
No, it can't be.
0. So that's about.
Okay, but I want it to 3 decimal places. What
I
do you got?
got 3 decimal places. That was 3.4449.
Yes, do not give me 3.449 comma 0, and the other one, what did you get?
1.44.
Now, there's supposed to be 2 of them. So is that true or not? Look now, you guys are not waiting for someone else to do the work for you. I think that's right. Miles, did you get the other one?
I haven't done that one.
What? All right, I'm so confused. All right, me too. Ready? So here we go. Pay attention. Did you type it in on the calculator correctly? You got the equation in there.
Yes.
You see
Yeah,
it's,
the other one's right.
you see it's upside down, right?
Wait.
You hear me? The graph was upside down.
Yes.
How's that not what yours looks like? Did you type -x squared minus 2x plus 5 in? Come on, Carly. Does everybody understand your graph is going to be like this, right? Does everybody understand it looks like that? I don't care exactly, but it looks like that, right? So you're trying to find where the graph crosses the x-axis. So you hit second, calc, number 2. Then you move to the left of the 0. Then you move to the right of the 0. Then you hit enter, and it spits out either 3.449 or 1.449. Now, if you can't do that, put your hand up and I'll try to individually help you. I don't want to individually help you, though. You were just typing numbers in on the calculator. What?
I got that, but how do you then find the other?
Well, you have to do it again. Second count.
Wouldn't it just
Stop. 0. Move to the left of this one. Hold it down. Hurry up. Are you to the left?
Yes.
Enter. Now move to... Now stop. Hit enter. Enter. Why was that hard?
Oh, because
Oh! Yes, I see that. Move to the left. No, that's not all the way to... Move to the left of the 0. That's to the left. Hit enter. It's where it crosses the axis. You gotta look at it and say, oh, that's where it crosses. That's the number I'm looking for right there. I don't know why you want to do it your way.
I don't know.
Well, just listen then.
I'm trying to.
Now you're to the right. Why are you going all the way over there? You're to the right. Stay over here. Now you're to the right. Now hit enter. Enter. There. What is hard?
Oh.
You got a bump on the head. Probably not some sense in this. No, that means you're not going left and right. You know the left and you know the right. Try it again. Quit. Just quit. Now take the calculator's advice. Just quit. Grab. Number 3. Yes. 2. Now, are you want to find this one or this one? Which one? Okay. Are you to the left? Hit enter. Now move to the right. Are you? Enter. Enter. What is the problem?
Wait, Mr.
I don't understand.
Mr. Stroud, what's our 0? Is in the wrong one. What is our 0?
You got it. You?
I got it, Mr. Stroud.
Wow. I got Will on it. What? You're clueless.
Mr.
Yes.
Stroud, what's our 0?
Hanson is
I'm
clueless.
trying again.
Madeline. Okay. You know left out and right down in the vertex? No, not the vertex. What is left and right down? What point is this? Left is right.
Look at this.
That's our range. I went
Right. What is that supposed to be? Now grab. I wonder. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, you have to type it in right in order to be able to do the problem correct. What?
Oh my gosh, I got 0.4. Mr. Stroud.
I need help.
All right, let me try one more time. Let's say it one more time.
I did it 3 times now. I get it.
Here we go, Hanson. Listen, one more time, please. Sebastian, listen. I'm going to say it one more time because I just think it's obvious. All right, so here we go. One more time. Here is what your graph looks like.
Yes.
So when we do the intercepts, all right, what I need for you to do is hit second, calc. Now, what I want to do right now, just because some of you guys, I'm going to go ahead and draw the graph up here. Here's -1, 6, 0, 5. Here is this one. Now, wait a minute.
It's not. It's not.
Are you guys sure it's 3.4?
It's not 3.4. That's what I was trying to.
It's what?
I'm a genius.
What is it?
It's negative.
Yeah, it should be negative. Those are negative. Those are negatives. All right. So now it goes like this. So the graph looks something like this, and the graph looks something like this. Hey, now just listen to me. That's what the graph looks like.
Isn't it positive?
Shh. Just listen now. I'm pretty sure that's what the graph looks like. All right. Now, what I need for you to look at, please, is this. I'm trying to find this point down here. All right, we're trying to find what exactly that point is right here and what exactly that point is right there. All right, this point and this point. All right, so I'm going to take my cursor again. All right, and when you hit second calc 0, it says left bound come up. Now look, guys, I'm not kidding. Look up. I want to show you. All right, and again, I'm trying not to be funny so I want you to listen because I mean it. It's really, really simple. When you hit second calc, Carly, you're not listening. You're asking me for help. I'm trying to show you, and you're not watching. All right, thank you. So here we go. So right here, I have the cursor on the screen. I don't care where the cursor is. If I'm trying to find this 0 right here, I have to go to the left of that. Anything down here is to the left. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
And then you hit enter. Then it says right. Now, just go to this right. Don't move it all the way over here because then it has 2 choices. So left bound, right bound. Boom. Then it tells you the answer. That's the first one. Now you got to find the other one. So second calc. Now it's to the left. Do you agree? And then you move it to the right. Then you hit enter. And then it tells you what this one is.
So it should be positive.
The right.
Yes, the left and right of the 0. The left and right of the 0. The left and right of the 0. All right. Now, again, one more time, because I said I was going to give you some time, because I think you guys did a good job today. Listen to me, please. Look up. I ask now for the range. Now, remember what I told you about the range. I want you to look up and down. What did you think the range was? Infinity to 6. Yay, very good. Negative infinity to 6. Wow, that was very good. Cole, negative infinity to 6. Now again, if you listen, I'm telling you that's how you should be thinking about it. Remember, you're going up and down for the range. How far down can you look? To negative infinity. And then you go all the way up until what? 6, and then you have to stop. Now notice again there's a bracket because it stops at 6. Negative infinity you don't get to. So that's the parentheses. What? Is it? Oh, yeah, thank you. It is positive 1/4. Wow. I feel really bad. Bane is correcting. That's never happened. That's never happened.
I love
All
how
right.
she's like, yeah, you should. No,
All right, here we go. Now, listen. If you can tell here, guys, I've got some 3, 4, 5, 6. So the only thing I need for you to do is to try 3 on your own. All right. Once you get done with 3, you can remember or you can continue to kind of study for your history. I know that's kind of important. All right. So make sure you're okay with that. All right. Get busy, get busy, get busy.
Strength for Latin.